Hello, friends and family, and welcome to the 2023 Open at Austin, presented by Lone Star Disc. We are here at the Harvey Pinnock Golf Course in Austin, Texas. I'm Holly Finley.
And I am Austin native Connor O'Reilly, super happy to be here bringing the Disc Golf Pro Tour to my hometown, and super excited for the Austin fan base to be able to get their eyes and their hands on these players and just get to interact with them.
Harvey, I did not know you were an Austin native.
Absolutely. It's a long time coming, and hopefully we do a good enough job that the Pro Tour wants to be back again next year.
Up first, everyone knows the name Paige Pierce, 5-time world champion, Team Discraft. Next up, Sarah Hokom, 2012 world champion, Team MVP.
Third on this star-studded card, Jessica Weese, 71 career wins, has a solid forehand and backhand. And then we have Ella Hansen, the least experienced of these players, as she's playing with players. The wins are stacking into the hundreds with these players, and Ella's a player that through time will get there, and it's exciting to get to watch her play at this young stage in her career. And hole one is a par 4 at 600 feet, really forces you out to the left, bringing the disc back in right here. Turnover backhand needs to land very carefully somewhere around here and avoid cutting left to this out of bounds line. Into the green, if you have a strong forehand, you can play it out over that out of bounds and skip it back in, or you can play a straight backhand. It's not a bad par 4 to start on, but this tee shot can be very difficult, especially depending on the wind.
Hey, Pierce!
Paige going forehand, not a play that she does too often, but been working on it the last couple years.
See? I can do it.
And she says, see, I've been working on it.
I like that.
Your 2012 world champion.
Yeah, I think that kind of shows you
Hokom.
how much this hole really forces you into doing that big left-right movement. The fact that Paige, such a backhand dominant player, is choosing forehand. And we all well know Sarah Hokom would throw a forehand in almost any situation.
Jessica Weese.
Not able to beat the big tree there, though.
Jessica Weese has one of the most amazing forehands in the FPO division. She can shot shape as well as Sarah Hokom. She's really doing some crazy work with her Vulcans. I've seen her do the craziest shot shaping in the woods. Everyone's safe so far.
That one fell through the tree nicely. And guys, this ripping north wind we had today, playing off the left shoulder here on hole 1, makes some of these holes out here play extremely difficult.
Wow. Ella with an FD3 off the tee, the furthest shot of them all.
Big skip.
Safe in bounds.
That thing hit the launch pad.
Hokom with a nice layup shot to the men's basket.
Yeah, the men play a par 3 version of this hole that sits right between those two trees you can see Jessica flying left of here. This needs to get down, and you can see that crosswind pick up as the disc edge gets exposed when it starts to fade there.
Weese out of bounds on the right side with her upshot. Paige opting for yet another forehand.
Wow.
She's safe.
She's really starting to trust that. It's good to see. Ella, no stranger to throwing with both clockwise and counterclockwise spin, and this one looks great.
That was incredible. She'll be putting for birdie from about 15 feet.
Yeah, not a bad wind setup for her there. Might be slightly ahead, but it should be mostly off her left shoulder, so should drop the putter of a right-hand player into the basket.
Card mates were super impressed with Ella's play.
Sarah, on the other hand, has a sketchy win for a right-handed player off the right shoulder.
Not only is it crazy windy, it's also freezing, about 42 degrees when we started this morning.
Something to be noted for this course, it was newly cut and kind of underwent some last minute changes too, so some of these rough areas are super thick and tough to play from, or let alone get to your disc, and that right to left just keeps Sarah's putt up there, but a strong bid.
Paige Pierce for par. Cans it. It's a good start. Ella for birdie. Very nice. I like the way she kept her second shot super low to the ground.
Yeah, that's the key when you're facing that left to right crosswind, especially if you're going to throw the forehand. If you expose that wing on too much hyzer or get the nose up, the disc is going to move very far right. And that's the key in the wind for the most part, is if you keep your disc low to the ground, you're going to be much less affected and your misses are going to be much more playable, a lot less out of bounds strokes.
Hole 2, 690 feet, a par 4. We do have out of bounds on the left and right, all the way up to the basket and behind. You're gonna have to keep it in the fairway, swing it out to the right, let it come back in left. You also have this out of bounds golf green if you want to take an aggressive second shot over it to try to get a birdie. Otherwise, you can sort of stay in the fairway, chip your way around, and take a 4.
The left to right wind playing here today isn't the worst wind for this hole. It might not let you get the most distance, but it keeps the disc from fading into that out of bounds left, and really just want to be in bounds here, and if you do so, you should have an option to play aggressive for birdie.
Pierce and Hansen side by side in the fairway.
I do not envy throwing a forehand on this shot in this wind, and Sarah gets it up there nicely.
Sarah's photon was a little low.
Yeah, considering how low it was. Oh,
That was fancy.
little moonwalk from the disc and drops down in the fairway.
Hokom too far to go for the birdie. She'll have to do a layup shot.
Oh, another scary one. If she gets the green flag here, she'll be breathing a sigh of relief, and
That looked a little sketch.
this is looking like it's fading towards the out of bounds. Is it short enough? No, it gets held up.
Weese's upshot out of bounds. Pierce is in a position to go across this out of bounds area all the way into the green, but you really need to have some control on the landing.
Wow, that one flipped up nicely for her. Looked like maybe a buzz shot.
Yeah, she'll be safe putting for about, I'd say, 35 feet for birdie. Hansen looking to do the same thing. Taking more of that hyzer route into it. Again, she's just keeping it so low. I love how she's doing all that ground skip. Man, she has a drop-in birdie.
Yeah, when you have the power Ella does, it really is a luxury in the wind to be able to throw those overstable discs and rip them low, play some ground action.
You worded that well. It is a luxury.
I got to play a practice round with her this week, and yeah, she just gets such easy looking power, just uses all the levers on her body well, and definitely got good strength. Jessica looked like she might have some kind of Anheuser putt window. And we all know she can drop those in.
Oh yeah, she's really good at those. Pierce for birdie. Not quite on line. She'll have an easy putt for par.
Yeah, she was protected by the woods there from the wind, but maybe she just kind of felt like it was still going to have an effect. And that one was a floppy duck, but it got there and almost cashes from circle 2.
I love a floppy duck.
Had just enough spin to get to the basket. Might have spun about 2.5 times and got the cage though.
Hokom with the bogey, Weese with the bogey, and Ella with the only birdie yet again. 2 in a row. Good for her. Strong start. Love to see it.
Yeah, playing low, in control, playing the disc on that hyzer edge on every release so far.
I just think the plastic is very premium.
I think it's the quality of plastic.
It's unlike any other plastic that you'll find in the industry.
It's something I can consistently trust.
You're gonna wanna put multiple discs in your bag.
You can only say so much where they have to eventually just try it themselves and see.
Hole 3, the second hole in a row where MPO and FPO play the same hole. This one's 354 feet through a tight little double mandatory off the tee. This crest right here is something you'll have to navigate and make sure to get the disc just over. And you want to split these 2 trees here on the right ideally. And if you can skip up to the left side of this basket and putt back up the hill, that's a very big advantage, as if you find yourself straight and right here, the runs can be scary and the rollaways to circle's edge down below can be quick to come. This looks like the line from Ella, just not quite able to get there.
She'll have a long putt at it if she's feeling aggressive, but from that angle, if you miss, you're just going more down the hill and then you'll have an uphill putt. Ooh, Paige tracking towards the out of bounds. It is out of bounds on the left and right, and she finds it. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, the OB line right is probably something you think of more. That usually if you hit this gap, it's almost hard to find that out of bounds thicket that Paige did on the left. It's a rare misfire from her.
Sarah's safe.
Jessica puts a move on this. It's holding, but it looks like it's gonna fade in time, and yeah, able to find a spot that she'll probably want to lay up from.
Yeah, Weese's Pharaoh. Landing in circle 2, but like you said, I don't like that angle. That's not a good putt angle.
She'll have that tailwind, so it will drop her, but if you miss that one and don't catch a medal, it's really quick to find that circle 2 headwind uphill putt coming back, and who knows what can happen after that. Look at that wind ripping. You guys, it is going. Sarah trying to find the right angle. Looks like she decides on that Anheuser. Oh, comes out flat, and yeah, that was smart to lay up there. I think especially round 1 on a green like this.
Wow.
Ooh, Ella
is very aggressive. Oh my goodness.
She took some pace off it and tried to use the wind to swing it in there, but that gets very touchy, especially landing on hyzer, and she played it very well. Jessica lands that one on a good angle and plops over for the easy par.
Hansen for par, and doesn't quite connect. That first putt just kind of got away from her.
Yeah, well, it looked like she kind of gave it a safe little run and didn't go too far. It just shows you that uphill comeback can be hard. You expect it to lift, and when it does not, usually the cage hit is waiting. Because you don't want to sail those ones too high.
Weese and Hokom with the only pars here on the 3rd. Let's check out hole 4. Ooh, it's a tough one. Our first par 5 coming in at 888 feet. You gotta fly over that out of bounds area and the fence, and also miss the out of bounds golf green. Gonna land somewhere around the golf green and send your second shot all the way up to right in front of this wooded tunnel. Your third shot should be another straight shot into the green and hopefully get yourself a 4. This is a tough one, especially with the wind. Again, it's surrounded by OB, and I saw a couple of girls having trouble even making it over this out of bounds area off the tee this morning. And Hokom with a great backhand and this dirty backspin.
Are you kidding me?
That was so
I turned
gross.
away. Well, I get it up there.
And that just shows you guys, they're pretty protected off the tee, but as soon as the discs want to fade through that tunnel left of the green there, the wind wall just hits them. Yeah, I saw so many good looking shots today. Just hold onto that green and never fade left the way you expect.
Good
That one
looking
moved.
shot.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to move that far that late. Ella giving it more height. This looks great. Yeah, she'll be on that down slope, but gonna be closest to the pin so far.
Paige doesn't like that out of her hand, but it's gonna kite and
Look
it'll
at-
be in bounds. I think it's in a perfect position. I like landing right there on top of that hill to get a little bit of height advantage.
I mean, just look at the tree line back there, you guys. Look at the way these discs are dancing and getting toyed with. This wind is something substantial right now.
This is Hokom's third shot.
No, it's stable. It's gonna go left.
I threw a disc on the second shot in this hole that always goes left, Paige, and it didn't go left today, so it was that kind of wind.
Yeah, I had the same situation. Paige chose the right disc, and she's in a great position. Weese using a halo destroyer. Can it hold up? Barely.
Ooh, it's gonna need to beat that OB line, and it fades early enough.
Not a very strong finish for a halo.
Yeah, those things are hitting the ground, and if they're spinning, they're just kind of sitting in place, and really interesting to see the way they're flying right now. Nice forward skip for Ella. She's gonna be on the left side looking down that gap. She's gonna be able to really attack from there. Ella's off to a strong start. Birdies were hard to come by today.
Hokom's fourth shot, just trying to get inside the gap. That'll work. Be nice to get a little further up there. Lucky kick for Jess, right in the center.
This gap is a good size, but like we said, this course is pretty brand new, so left or right there are a lot of small trees, some the size of your pinky finger, some the size of your wrist, but they got cousins, brothers, and sisters out there.
Ella looks like she sent hers into that wooded corner. That could pose for some trouble, but maybe not with her ultimate background. She could maybe just step out and get it to the basket.
Forehand roller out of Paige. Showing the
Wow.
creativity and gets into the circle. Wow.
That worked out great.
She said, I'm going to take the risk. I know I'm going to get there. It's just a matter of do I catch something and stay circle one, circle two.
Sarah will have a circle's edge putt at it. Caddy showing some love.
Hello, looks like she's pulling out that razor claw for the Anheuser forehand. Looks a little bit nose up, but drops nicely off the tree hit.
Perfect shot.
We've seen Jessica run her touchy forehand at ranges like this, but looks like she just wants to put that one close today. Sarah looking to release this one nice and flat. Not let the wind affect it too much. Just needed a little more pace on that one, and it had a good line.
What a great time to putt. The wind's kind of died down.
You can see that flag just hanging down.
Oh, that's too bad. Paige doesn't connect on that one. She
There's
played that hole pretty well, too.
There's a lot of these circle one putts on these wooded greens out here where you have to go to a straddle putt. There's so many trees that you need to avoid, and I think you need the game plan for certain sides of the green on certain holes.
Pierce and Hansen both with pars here on hole 4.
Hole 4 today, you guys. played at 1.51 strokes over par, and it was not the hardest hole on the course, so buckle up for that one.
Hokom with a double. She'll walk away with a 7 here on hole 4.
It's one of those courses that's hard to score on, and then if the wind's rearing in one specific direction sometimes, it can be almost impossible to score on certain holes. And hole 5 is a par 3 at 355 feet. That wind's going to be ripping off the right shoulder, making this one a touchy angle. Do you lay up short of the green, pitch up for the easy par, or do you try to risk it for the biscuit and get up there into circle 1? This basket will be elevated just to add another extra flair and challenge to the green.
You can also send it pinned deep left or right and have it pitch up instead of going short of the green, but then you're, risking those sand traps as well. Jessica is safe and she'll have a putt at it if she's feeling brave. Elevated basket and windy. We'll see.
I think this one's a good range for the ladies. I feel like it's close enough where all you guys can get there, so it really makes you have to make that decision and commit. If you find yourself kind of in between, I think is where you'll make the mistakes here.
Ella taking that left landing zone, so she's pinned deep, but she'll have more of a upshot than a putt at it.
Paige knows it needs to get down, and looks like it sticks at the edge of the circle. Maybe a circle 2 putt at it.
Hokom sending that flex shot out, and is she gonna make it past the golf green? She does.
A couple close ones on those forehands from Jessica and Sarah, but everybody inbounds, and probably gonna see some easy pars on this one, but let's see if Paige is feeling aggressive. Yeah, smartly done. She has that right to left where she really gives it a bid, and Mrs. Metal's probably lifting to the out of bounds that is long of this one.
Weese from 40.
A little higher, so I guess she was looking to bid that one.
Or she wants us to think she was.
Oh, and Paige showing the risks of it.
Mm.
Looks like it might have stayed in bounds though, and it did.
That's the risk of going a little higher.
Yeah.
Wow. Nice comeback.
We know it's not in Paige to lay up from circle's edge.
It's hard to. I mean,
It really
we're in
is.
the pro division.
When you know you have the skills to win, it's hard to make that decision to limit yourself, and sometimes the percentages are better than the pride. It takes experience to know that though, and even then sometimes, you gotta reach for that potential.
Everyone taking a par here on hole 5. Welcome back. Hole 6, 316, par 3. This is a very unique hole. It has a very sharp angle off of the tee. It's really tough to get there for a birdie unless you can send a spike hyzer into the sky, and maybe you have a right to left wind and it can kite you over. Otherwise, you'll see a lot of players just playing out straight and then pinching up to the basket, playing for par, or maybe taking a hero putt at it. Let's see what Weese has for us.
Hoist your sails and hope the wind's in the right direction here, you guys, because if not, it's going to be hard to get there.
That wasn't the recipe for success on this hole. Let's see what Hansen has for us. Not tight enough to get to the green, but, you know, that's good enough for a par. I think that'll be a common play, just sending it straight out with an overstable disc and see how close you can get.
Oh wow, look at that wind.
You guys might think this one's only 315, you know, these guys should be able to give themselves a look, but with how left this one is, without a right to left wind, I don't know if the high shot can get closer than maybe 60 feet, but even then, you'll see some of the best players in the world ended up at 80 feet here in the left to right wind. And it can make you feel pretty bad sometimes.
There's no OB here, so, you know, it's kind of simple to get a par as long as you can just make it, you know, somewhat down the fairway. Weese unfortunately cut rolls her upshot. See, the trouble with this upshot is it's kind of a low ceiling. You can see they trimmed up that tree, but it's still a bit of a low ceiling to send it up there.
For sure, and if you find yourself right at all or long, there's a lot of trees to navigate, so if you can be just there short left of the basket, that's going to be the most open place to putt from, or you can just hit your head on the basket like Ella. That looks nice, playing that left side of the green.
Those are two really good upshots.
As you can see, if even inside circle one there, there's 15 trees to navigate on that right side.
Yeah, what a solid par putt from Sarah Hokom.
Jessica's got good touch forehand and backhand, so I feel like more so than most players, we see her giving soft bids to a lot of those 150 footers or so, and it can be exciting to watch for sure.
It's kind of crazy to think we're on hole 6 and we've only seen 2 birdies from the entire card, both from the same person. It's tough scoring conditions today.
Birdies were so hard today, you guys. I don't think we can reiterate that enough. The course averaged 10 over par. It's hard to get them, and they're easy to leave. And hole 7 is 340 feet. It's a par 3. The key features here are some rough on the right side that you want to avoid flipping into, and all these bunkers here that are playing as hazard around the green. Really just throw a big forehand if you have it, or flip up a fairway driver, try to land it flat. The headwind was raging here though, so if you're playing into the gust, this one's going to play solid 50-60 feet longer at times. And Ella ripping on this one, and it's not able to hold up in the wind.
My disc did the same thing, and I'm suddenly feeling much better about myself.
It's funny how that happens sometimes. I had Anthony Barella having misfortune make me feel better today, because neither of us could get there, and I was like, AB throws so far, if I can't get there and he can't, then I feel good.
On this same hole?
Yep, same hole.
All right.
We're tucked into the woods a little bit, playing almost a forced forehand.
What is happening?
Ooh.
Hokom is in bounds, but that one just got away from her.
Yeah, you don't want to turn this one into that headwind. It's going to be hard to fight back. Really got to release it flat or on some hyzer ideally.
Weese using a Faro with a spike hyzer. She has about a 66-footer at it.
See if Ella can put this one up close. Days like today, it's also key when you're throwing these short approaches to take note of what way the wind's going, so you can play that tailwind approach and not have the just outside bullseye headwind putt that Ella's looking at, but instead get on that side that Sarah just got to, where you can utilize the tailwind. Can make a big difference stress-wise and score-wise. Can save a couple strokes.
One thing funny about like the order of play, oftentimes I'm sort of relaxed when everyone's within a foot of each other around the basket, but when the conditions are really windy like this, I prefer to go in the proper order, because maybe when it's my turn, the wind is not blowing, and I want to go when it's my turn, when the wind is not blowing. So it's funny how the rules change personally.
I think I definitely feel some of that same stuff at times where it's like, you know what, like other days I might rush to tap out right now just because it doesn't matter, but I'm gonna wait. Yeah, let's let you do your thing.
All right, Hansen and Hokom both with pars here on hole 7.
Yeah, we also had a lot of rain last night. Crazy lightning storms coming through and dropping hail rain on the course. So these ladies are dealing with the worst tee conditions of the day. They've not terrible, but definitely a little bit slick and some mud tracked onto them. So not maybe able to get all the power they want to attack some of these tough holes in the headwind.
Yeah, I had to put on my Mud Stepper 3000s this morning.
Get them spikes out.
You got to.
Some people are elves though, I don't understand it. They just have light feet and I'm not that guy.
Hole 8, 330 feet, par 3. It's a straight ahead shot. It doesn't feel that windy where the teeing area is, but out by the green it is quite windy. Whatever you can get a straight shot with and get yourself a putt, it's a good idea. But if you go too far right or too deep, it kind of gets obstructed. So landing a little short of the basket is preferred. Hansen up first.
Yeah.
We're facing that headwind pulling slightly off the right. And this one, you want to throw it really flat. So if you get any bit of turn, it's kind of just holding it right like you saw there for Ella.
She gets her MD1 up there for a putt.
And Paige kind of corrects on that, puts a little hyzer out of the hand, and just gets fortunate to not get sucked into the rough there and to be somewhat open.
Hokom did not like that out of her hand. It's not a putt, but it should be scrambleable for par from there. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like this.
Jessica, nice and flat with a disc that's just gonna pop up, and that was masterfully thrown.
Of course we're gonna run that back. It's the best shot of the day so far. Thank you, Flight Factory. Weese with the flex shot.
Love that. You know what disc she threw?
Leopard 3.
Well thrown, Jessica.
I had to bogey that short stupid hole, and then y'all are like my wind dummies now.
You made a good read, Jess. Paige hoping for maybe a little... Oh, I thought she was looking for a tree backboard hit, but just kind of fell short on her there.
You can see if you go too far, almost pin deep, you get sort of pinched off. Luckily, Sarah was right there on the edge, and she'll have almost a drop in for par. I mean, we saw Ella run some long ones earlier.
Yeah, let's see if there's a low ceiling that stops her. Yeah, there's a couple hanging limbs that are hard to see from that angle right now that probably kept her from giving it a high soft bid she would have liked to from that range.
Jessica Weese with the only birdie. Finally, someone else with a birdie.
Paige sticks it high on those chains. It was the body English. It helps you guys. You duck, sometimes it'll lift over the rim because you change your perspective of your eyes, right?
Our watchers don't like the term body English because it makes no sense if you say like body French or body German. So we should say body language.
Body language. I like it. I'm now cultured. The ninth is a beautifully framed par 3. You still have this rough on the left side. Mandatory tree out here on the right to keep you in, but honestly, you don't really want to swing it that far anyways, at least if you got the straight shot on luck. 315 feet. You probably want to play just right of these two trees we see here and land it flat, slide it up. The right side of the green is preferred here, as you see. Only about 15 to 18 feet left. You'll start to have to do some straddle putts. There's one big tree just long in the basket that if the ladies find themselves behind can block some putting windows, so you don't want to put this one long, honestly.
Another great shot from Jessica Weese. She'll have a birdie putt at it from about 15 feet. Hansen up second. An MD3, and she'll have a circle's edge look at it.
Yeah, that crosswind just kind of didn't allow it to stay up in the air. Paige a little bit late and high, but squeaks through, and this one's tracking, you guys. Wow. That almost found chains. We've had some close calls so far this year. I'm liking the theme. Keep it up, ladies. Sarah bending this one beautifully and hits the... Oh, I thought she flew through that a little bit. She'll have a long 70-footer or so. Oh, a little closer. Maybe just inside circle 2.
Ooh, I like the way it was riding the wind.
Yeah, I like the pace she put on that one. Definitely upped the pace a little bit and cut through the wind a little better there.
Hansen for birdie. Man, the quality on that video just looked so crisp.
Oh, yeah.
Chains out a little early left.
Yeah, those Texas spring colors have been looking beautiful the last few weeks at Waco in here. Just getting the green popping out and contrasting nice against the red of those baskets there.
Ooh, the proposal putt from Paige Pierce, capturing a birdie here on the 9th. It's a good one to get.
Almost ace runs, but still cleans up the putt. Jessica also, there are the birdies, and
What up, Jess? 2 in a row?
Heck yeah.
Okay. That's cleaning it up. I like that.
Hole 9 actually played as the easiest hole on the course today.
Did it?
At .11 over par, so just over. I'd venture to say it's probably going to play under par tomorrow with a little bit lighter wind. And
the easiest hole was over
easiest
par.
hole on the course was over par, you guys.
Did you hear that? Over par.
We can't reiterate enough how tough this course was playing today. It plays tough with no wind. But like we said, certain wind directions you just can't score on some holes unless you just get lucky or have kind of godly power.
Let's check out the top 10. Kristen Tatar, we've heard that name. Ella Hansen tied for first. Evelina in third. Paige, Jess, Holland, and Rebecca tied for fourth. Wow.
There's a theme up top.
Yeah, there is.
Power.
You said it. That was a very interesting and wild round. If you want to see some more fun in the wind, tune in to the back 9 coverage. We appreciate you guys checking this out. It's the first time playing this course. It's the first time it's on tour, and they told us it's likely to be the last because they're doing a redesign next year. So enjoy it while you can, and we'll see you on the back half.